Last week, the Republican Party chairman, Reince Priebus, best name in American politics, went on Bloomberg television and called the idea of a Republican war on women fiction. He said the idea of a Republican war on women was analogous to a Republican war on caterpillars. So he made an analogy in which women are caterpillars. Caterpillars, by the way, are bugs that have lots and lots and lots of really short legs. In addition to the women are bugs thing, the Republican Party spokesman inveighed not against the use of the word women in the GOP war on women, the way that Reince Priebus did. The spokesman instead, decided to be upset about the first word. He decided to be upset about the use of the word war. He called the use of that word war bordering on unpatriotic, which is amazing since the party he is the spokesman for has accused President Obama of waging war on everything from coal to Appalachia to Mexico and, naturally, to women. And the campaign for the party's likely presidential nominee, Mitt Romney, is constantly accusing President Obama of waging war on everything from carbon dioxide to free enterprise to the Catholic Church. It is a little rich that Republicans, the National Republican Party, has now decided that using the word war in a political metaphor is very offensive to them all of a sudden. But today, the Republicans' bad messaging on the whole war on women thing got even worse. Today, the top Republican in the United States Senate, Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, addressed the war on women charge in an appearance on a local radio show in his home state of Kentucky. Listen.
Talk about a manufactured issue. There is no issue. Senator Kay Bailey Hutchison and Kelly Ayotte from New Hampshire and Susan Collins and Olympia Snowe from Maine, I think, would be the first to say. Lisa Murkowski from Alaska, we don't see any evidence of this.
Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell calling the Republican war on women a manufactured issue. And if you don't believe him, just ask a lady Republican. Just ask Senator Kay Bailey Hutchison about this supposed war on women. Ask her.
Planned Parenthood does mammograms. They do so much of the health care, the preventive health care, and if they're doing that, then we need to provide those services. Absolutely.
Senator Kay Bailey Hutchison speaking out against her own party's attacks on Planned Parenthood. A big part of the reason people say that the Republicans are waging a war on women, those attacks on Planned Parenthood. In that statement, at least, she was not exactly backing up Mitch McConnell's point there. Okay, how about Olympia Snowe, maybe? Olympia Snowe, she was also on Senator McConnell's list of lady Republicans who he says will debunk this war on women myth. Last month, Olympia Snowe voted with the Democrats against the Blunt Amendment to roll back access to contraception. And just last week at a Women's Campaign Fund event in New York, she said this about the birth control battle being waged by her party. She said, quote, "I feel like it's a retro debate that comes from the 1950s. It's sort of back to the future, isn't it?" Okay, moving on down Mitch McConnell's ladies who will back me up list. What about Lisa Murkowski, the Republican senator from Alaska? Senator Murkowski, you may remember, voted for the anti-contraception Blunt Amendment, so she was with McConnell on that. But then she admitted publicly that she regretted the vote. She would like to take that vote back if she could. Still, though, according to Mitch McConnell, her colleague and minority leader in the Senate, if we were to just ask Senator Lisa Murkowski about this supposed Republican war on women, she would say she sees no evidence of any such thing. This is not a hypothetical. Turns out somebody did ask Senator Lisa Murkowski about the Republican war on women just a few days ago, and this is what she said about it.
This is not only discussion in Congress, but you've got presidential wannabes that are talking about whether or not contraception is good, bad, indifferent, wrong. Women feeling that the party that I have chosen to affiliate myself with, the Republican Party, is ignoring their concerns, is causing them to feel like the rights that they believe were settled a long time ago are now being threatened, possibly eroded.
Let me ask you this from just a strategic and tactical side of thinking. Aren't the Republicans maybe stepping into a trap? And I mean, do they really? I guess the question I'm trying to ask is, what are they thinking, alienating so many women?
I asked the same question to my colleagues. I said, it makes no sense to go down this road. It makes no sense to attack women. And if you don't view this as an attack on women, then you need to go home and you need to talk to your wives. You need to go talk to your daughters. Ask them if they feel that this is an attack.
If you don't view this as an attack on women, you need to go home, talk to your wives, talk to your daughters. That is what Senator Lisa Murkowski thinks about the Republican war on women. Senator McConnell.
Talk about a manufactured issue. There is no issue. Senator Kay Bailey Hutchison and Kelly Ayotte from New Hampshire and Susan Collins and Olympia Snowe from Maine, I think, would be the first to say. Lisa Murkowski from Alaska, we don't see any evidence of this.
Actually, they don't say that. They do not seem to think it is a manufactured issue when people do ask them what they think about this. Maybe you should ask them too. Modest proposal. Next time you want to rattle off a list of Republican women who totally agree with you on women's issues, Senator McConnell, maybe ask those Republican women if that's okay first. And if it turns out they don't agree with you, maybe you could even ask them why.